Should foreign nationals with radical or anti-American social media be denied visas?
Yes.
Yes.
Broadly. Depends. I'm a free
Yes
speech
or no?
absolutist. I
Yes
believe
or
in the
no?
First Amendment of the United States.
You know, when you
so
vote,
I guess
you don't,
no.
when you vote,
As a
you don't
First
get to
Amendment
put a,
believer,
when
no.
you vote, don't talk over me.
Chair recognizes Representative Scanlon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I thought this was supposed to be one hearing where we weren't focused on illegal crossings at the border, but instead we're going to look at reforms to our legal immigration and our visa programs, but apparently some of our folks didn't get the memo. Look, since the first day of this administration, it's been clear that its chaotic and often lawless immigration agenda is based on a false choice, one that mistakenly asserts that in order to keep Americans safe, we have to slam our doors to the world, ignore the laws and values that this nation has been built upon and our very history, reject the people and traditions that have actually made our country great, and turn our backs on a critical source of labor to support and expand our economy and especially our healthcare systems. So this administration has claimed to only be going after the worst of the worst, but day after day, instead of hardened criminals, we see them going after hardworking people with no criminal records who are being ripped from their workplaces, schools, the courts where they're pursuing their legal immigration remedies, et cetera. So we see people with legal status having had the rug pulled out from under them, including our Afghan allies. These are folks who had our troops' backs during that conflict and came here legally on temporary protected status, and now they're facing deportation. So refugee resettlement has all but been shut down. People who've already completed the complicated and arduous vetting and security process have been left high and dry, often placing them and their families in dangerous conditions overseas. And this administration is now targeting international students, people here to learn from and contribute to our universities, to our economy, to innovation, and to our healthcare systems. And it's penalizing green card holders for expressing opinions that this administration doesn't agree with, despite the plain language of the First Amendment. So ultimately, despite all the rhetoric we're hearing, these actions hurt our economy, hamper our ability to compete with other countries on the global stage, and really damage our reputation worldwide. We're already seeing, I think the figure was a $12 billion decrease in tourism as people are afraid to come here. They don't like what they're seeing. For centuries, America's been a shining city on a hill, a place where the world's best and brightest seek to come and contribute and be successful in a culture of innovation and achievement, and that's being tarnished. It's just moving away from that tradition is the wrong direction. So, Mr. Nowrasteh, my district is home to a bunch of colleges and universities, many of which have 10, 12, 15% foreign students. Revoking their visas without transparency, terminating their legal status, seems like it's a big problem. And I know I hear from these universities that one of the reasons they like having international students, aside from the different perspectives they bring, the different knowledge they bring, is they bring dollars without student loans. Can you talk a little bit about what is happening with respect to the decrease in international students?
Yeah, so they do bring in a lot of dollars, and American educational services are a large export of the United States. And this administration talks frequently about wanting to close the trade deficit, which is frankly an economically meaningless term, but if they were really interested in that, they would actually liberalize student visas because it actually increases exports. It's a very valuable one, but the biggest benefit, of course, is what these people do if they do end up staying here. The firms that they found, the skills that they learn, the extra goods and services that they supply that make all of our lives better off.
This committee had a hearing on February 15th, 2022 on the essential role of immigrant physicians to American healthcare. Have you looked at that at all? I mean, we have a lot of folks come here to get their medical degrees. Many would like to stay. We have tens of thousands of doctor vacancies in this country right now, and we've had foreign physicians filling those gaps. Can you speak to that issue at all?
I can speak a little bit to that. I mean, immigrants are overrepresented in most medical sub-occupations, and they're contribute mightily to this. The United States has about 4 to 5% of the world's population. It would be extraordinarily accidental if those people who are born here happen to be the best of the best. I think we really punch above our weight when it comes to that. But there are a lot of talented foreigners out there who could be great American physicians and medical professionals, and I think it's pretty absurd that we make it difficult for so many of them to come in.
Time has expired.
Thank you.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Representative Van Drew.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to condense this down. Let's be clear. Nobody here on this side, I am not against legal immigration. We are against breaking the law. We want to make this complicated. Not you all, I'm not blaming you, but in general, it's not complicated. We don't want the law to be broken. And the abuse that's going on or did go on is causing the American people to lose faith in our immigration system. And see, that's the worst of it. And I'm going to emphasize this over and over again. Unfortunately, folks on the left, folks on the other side, it's even happening today. They'll talk about doctors and teachers and scientists coming over and how we're going to stop that and they're going to not want to come over. They're not the ones we're concerned with. Scientists and doctors are coming over legally. They're going through the system. And they're actually getting hurt because of what has happened over the last number of years with the illegals coming in, because Americans are getting somewhat confused, unfortunately. Let's not blur this. Nobody is against legal immigration of good people coming to America. That's the way America was built. And as many times as the other folks on the other side will say immigration, I'm going to keep qualifying. We're talking about illegal activity and illegal immigration. And worst of all, we keep doing this over and over again. And under Joe Biden, the problem wasn't just illegal entry at the border, and it's what we're here to talk about today. It was our legal visa processing system. For years, that administration opened the floodgates. They allowed criminals in. They allowed individuals that were indicted in their own country or indicted here. They allowed individuals that were convicted in their own country or convicted here. We had people on the terror watch list, and I'm not only one saying that. We had the FBI director, the previous FBI director here under the Biden administration, no friend of mine, don't particularly care for him, but he said America was more dangerous than ever before in its entire history, and that's got nothing to do with Trump. He wasn't president yet. So let's cut it out. It's tell the truth time. It's time to be honest. And programs that were designed to bring in skilled workers, students, and seasonal labor have been twisted into a gateway for the wrong people to come into our country. Bad actors were allowed to skip the line. And all while good people that were mentioned and are mixed in were pushed to the back of the line, the people that we do want to come to America. That Boulder terrorist, anybody look at his social media content? He was involved in pro-Muslim Brotherhood propaganda. It was supposed to be a red flag. It usually is a red flag, I guess, but it wasn't red flagged. It appears no one actually screened this guy. Meanwhile, I'm going to say it again, because I really want to pound this in, law-abiding, good immigrants who do it properly, they're waiting for years, and I'd actually agree, sometimes too long. They're good people. They love America. Some of them love America more than the people who are born here in America, because the system is overwhelmed by fraud and abuse. The more we let bad actors come into the system, the more it becomes harder for the good actors to succeed and make their way to America. And we've got programs that are good. People come here for a while and they stay. Some of them become citizens. Some go back every year and they work hard. Those are good people. But we're screwing them. We're giving them the short end of the stick. And that's why it's so hypocritical to mix in the bad folks with the good folks the way we are when we converse and debate about it. A secure legal immigration system is not anti-immigrant. It's pro-American, and it's pro-immigrant. And we need to restore that integrity. So let's stop letting bad people abuse the system. I got some questions for you real fast. It's like when you vote. You got to vote for this one or that one. I simply want a yes or a no answer. I don't want a whole long thing, Mr. Nor'aster. I want a yes or a no. Are Americans safer when we stop thoroughly vetting visa applicants? Ms. Wan, you start.
No.
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 Good. Should foreign nationals with radical or anti-American social media be denied visas?
Yes.
Yes.
Broadly. Depends. I'm a free
Yes or
speech
no?
absolutist. I'm a free speech absolutist. I
Yes
believe
or
in the
no?
First Amendment of the United States.
You know, when you
so
vote,
I guess
you don't,
no.
when you vote,
As a
you don't
First
get to
Amendment
put a,
believer,
when
no.
you vote, don't talk over me. This is my time, not yours. When
That's
you
out.
vote, you have to make a decision. Is it fair to legal immigrants who wait years to let visa overstays apply for work permits after they broke the law? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Should someone who is, last one, should someone who is,
I'm
out of time? Okay. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I have two quick unanimous consent requests.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one is an article from NBC News entitled "Hundreds of International Doctors Due to Start Medical Residencies Are in Visa Limbo." And the second one is, because we've had so much conversation on overstays, it's the Homeland Security Fiscal Year 2023 Entry-Exit Overstay Report that specifically says that the overstay rate is 1.02%.
Without objection, admitted. The chair recognizes Representative Ross.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the ranking member for holding this hearing. I'm going to try to overlap in a positive way with Mr. Van Drew and talk about what we need to enhance legal immigration. I am absolutely convinced that we can fix our immigration system to deal with illegal immigration, the overstay situation. Obviously, we're working on the border, but we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Both the chairman and I represent one of the fastest growing areas in this country in North Carolina. Every day, and we just came back from being in our districts, I hear from the agriculture sector, largest sector, economic sector in North Carolina, the hospitality industry, the construction industry. We've talked about the medical industry, the research industry, that they need more workers and they need to have people who can get their visas. They need better H-1B processing. They need better H-2B visa processing. They want to hire people who are legal. But we have a backlog. We have not increased many of these visa quotas in more than 30 years. People want to come into this area. We are growing. We have amazing institutions of higher education educating lots of people from the United States. I'm very big on increasing the pipeline from the United States. But as we've discussed, in North Carolina, there simply are not enough people for our growing economy. So increasing pathways to legal immigration is either the first or the second highest priority for the North Carolina Farm Bureau, the North Carolina Chamber of Commerce, the North Carolina Home Builders, our education institutions. So, Mr. Narasta, can you tell us how we could fix some of the problems that we're hearing with our visa system and expand opportunities for more of these people to get legal visas, because these employers in my district and in my state who are generating all the economic prosperity want to do it the right way?
The major problem with the legal immigration system in the U.S. is that it is far too restrictive, it is far too complicated, it is far too burdensome. It is the second most complicated portion of American law after the income tax. Now, I'm just a humble supporter of the free market, but I think that people should be able to go back and forth based on where they are demanded, where their opportunities are, where people want to buy and sell from them and to them. And I think that we need to expand these opportunities for low-skilled workers in areas like agriculture, but also create a visa for construction workers. I think we need to create a visa for manufacturing, for all different types, for every sector of the American economy, for mid-skilled workers, for people who are higher skilled, make it easier for them to come in, some of them temporarily, some of them permanently. I mean, but at a minimum, I think the thing that we can do is create a visa for entrepreneurs, which this country entirely lacks. I mean, that's the no-brainer here. That's the biggest no-brainer around.
And Mr. Narasta, we've only touched on this. I have, ever since I got here, been one of the primary sponsors of a bipartisan bicameral bill to deal with what we call the documented dreamers. The children of H-1B visa holders who come over here before, they weren't born here. Sometimes their siblings are U.S. citizens, but they are not. And they literally age out of their visas when they're 21 years old. And the backlog is so long that they will never be able to get a visa or become a U.S. citizen. They're the children of highly educated people. Most of them are in college. We've paid for their education. And now we're deporting them to countries that we compete with. What do you say to those documented dreamers who I've been fighting so hard for?
You should be allowed to stay in the United States. You should be allowed to become an American citizen. You should be allowed to use your talents and your skills and your grit to do well here. The one thing we know about children doing well, or how well they're going to do in life, is it's related to their parents. And H-1Bs who come to the United States do extraordinarily well. They have above the 90th percentile in wages in the United States. So kids are going to do about as well as they do if we let them, if the government lets them succeed. And all we need to do is get out of their way. All we need to do is take the government out of this equation to legalize these folks and allow them to do what they want to do, which is to succeed and become Americans.
Thank you, and I yield back.